Fellow South Africans, what you do with your children, what you allow your children to do, what you force or encourage your children to do, what you praise your children for, take pride in and live by, those are what your children are guided by in their life. Take a look at this.
Did you think you could beat her?
I know I can beat her.
You know you can beat her. Very confident.
I'm very confident.
You say it so easily.
But if you keep going on and on.
But so we can't keep interrupting. I mean, if you want...
You got to understand that you're dealing with an image of a 14-year-old child. And this child gonna be out there playing when your old ass and me gonna be in the grave. When she says something, we done told you what's happening. You're dealing with a little black kid, and let her be a kid. She done answered it with a lot of confidence. Leave that alone.
That is Richard Williams, the father of the Williams sisters. The sisters that dominated the tennis world for decades. Serena and Venus Williams were trained by whom? Their father. He worked too hard to build up his daughter's confidence. Both he and his daughters had made lots of sacrifices. He was raising champions. He worked hard to help his daughters become the best. When that interviewer tried to mess around with his daughter's confidence for entertainment purposes, the father wouldn't stand for it.
Richard Williams, who supposedly bought a book or some DVD or something and sort of said, I'm going to teach these kids how to play tennis in some really tough part of Los Angeles.
Richard was going around and begging private country clubs like Riviera Country Club and others to give him their used balls.
Are you a father like that? Are you out there doing something for your children? Are you out there working hard to do the best that you can to make sure that your child gets a certain skill to set them up in life?
Richard Williams began training his daughters when they were 4 years old. He had big plans for Venus and Serena Williams long before that, revealing that he penned a 78-page manifesto in which he planned out a future of tennis domination for his daughters. He admitted that he was calling them the #1 girls in the world before they were even born.
Are you out there making sure that your child is becoming better than you at the best things that you admire in the world? Are you out there making sure that you download the best skills, the needed skills into your child's head? No one is born a champion. No one. You work on it.
Before they were born, a lot of people thought I was crazy because I would walk around with a sign like people protesting like the #1 girls in the world.
The Williams sisters were raised in Compton, a ghetto. He even had to fight gangsters off the tennis court in order to play tennis with his children.
Once they were old enough, Venus and Serena Williams played tennis for 3 or 4 hours a day, but not before their dad fought other people, including gang members, off the courts. He was so committed that he didn't back down after an altercation left him with several broken ribs and 10 missing teeth.
Those were black people just like him, his neighbors who had experienced hardship just like him. But he was not going to allow them to get in the way of the good thing that he was trying to do with his daughters. The fact is, there will always be people trying to take you down. But will you allow them to keep you down? The enemies are enemies, no matter what color. There's no white enemy, there's no black enemy. There are only enemies. That's it. In like manner, your allies will not be black, white, Indian, colored. They will simply be allies. That's the real truth. Today, the Williams sisters are multimillionaires and known all around the world. The Williams family is not the only one. They are not unique. Take a look at this.
And when the youngest, LaMelo, reached 4 years old, that's when he started training them.
I've been training them boys since they've been 2 years old.
Okay, so even before that?
Before that.
Okay.
All my boys were potty trained before 10 months.
Okay.
You talking about some training. Talking about some athletic training, but I gave them the ghetto Olympics. What I mean by that, in the living room, I didn't have no couches and stuff. I had a table. Let them jump off the table and see if they can land on that mat without falling down.
Okay.
Catch some passes. Like I tell them, I make them jump off the stairs, and you jump off the first stair onto the mat. Jump off the second stair and keep going up, high as you can, and jump. And land
so
on
they
your
would
feet.
hurt themselves along the way?
Man,
but
you can't hurt yourself. We got padded mats down there, but everything was competition.
Okay.
I have them hanging on a pull-up bar, see who can drop first. So it was very, very competitive at an early age.
That was LaVar Ball, the father of LaMelo and Lonzo Ball.
Numbers advantage, 5 on 4. LaMelo refusing to be fouled. Significant rebound for LaMelo, that gives him 10. Tag! Diddly-dee!
He's feeling it right now, folks.
34 big ones for LaMelo Ball.
He has 3 sons that he trained to be pro basketball players since they were very, very young.
Lonzo Ball, Mr. 7 years old. Get some height. Oh, reverse. I had a little plastic hoop teaching Lonzo how to shoot on top of his head. It was a straightaway shot from the side. He's my first son, so I spent a lot of time with him. And then once you make the first one good, the other ones just follow. 2-hand cut behind the head. Yes, hard. There you go. Let me see some handling, man.
Their father, LaVar, he had a plan.
Get it, you can't throw it up in his face now. Melo, what you got, dunks?
He would use basketball to strategically plot a course toward fame and stardom for his sons.
Good shot, Zoe. When we met, he told me that we were gonna get married and have boys, because he only makes boys, of course.
Everything is a plan for me picking my woman. Tina's an athletic woman. I'm an athletic man. It's all lined up. Our last name is Ball.
He had a dream for his children, and that is what he drummed into them. They worked on it, and out of the 3 sons, 2 made it into the NBA as professional basketball players. They are now millionaires doing the one thing that they spent most of the time doing with their father. They worked very hard at something, and now they enjoy the rewards.
We didn't talk on the phone. We didn't go to school parties and all that stuff. But somehow I don't feel like I missed out. I mean, there's probably a few things I wanted to go to, but I figured I wasn't going to go, so I didn't ask. And anyway, most of the time I was at practice.
So while the Williams sisters were not allowed to go and hang out in the corners, while they were not allowed to go and drink some booze and twerk to some hip-hop, they now know that they were working on something of greater value.
Richard was very, very protective, and he generally would never let anyone around the girls. He was extremely protective as he had seen so much.
They were working on their future. So while their classmates were busy getting high and falling pregnant with fatherless children, or going to concerts and getting infected with venereal diseases, they were out in the world conquering and obtaining glory. Discipline from a young age. Right now, where are your children? Have you not put them on a taxi or a quantum driven by a young drunkard transport driver who is all friendly and flirty with your daughters, putting on dirty music for them to dance to, introducing your sons to smoking and talking to your boys about things that your sons should not yet be exposed to? Are your children not spending mornings and afternoons with transport drivers that are one of the reasons why your children are getting worse and worse? Forget the transport driver. I want you to look at this clip.
You were born in the wrong family, motherfucker.
What did that man say to that baby? You were born in the wrong family. While other children are being exposed to sports, to programming, and to other skills before they even take their first step, this is a behavior that this beautiful baby is being exposed to. What a shame. Fellow South Africans, it is up to us to set our children up for success. Let us teach our children to be great filmmakers. Let us teach them to be great with numbers, great at reading and writing. Let's teach our children to be great sportsmen, not dirty dancers to dirty music. Don't teach them to be DJs or twerkers. While we know that there are DJs and dancers who do make money and become millionaires, we also know that that is a dirty world. It is a world of alcohol, sex, and drugs. We are talking about characters like Skomota, Zodwa Wabantu, Cyan Boujee, Uncle Waffles, and DJ Zinhle. For too long, those are the things that we have elevated in our communities. Rubbish of the lowest order, our greatest export as South Africa. But we can change that direction. We can start a new culture. It is up to us. While that baby is being made to listen to dirty music and made to dance to it, look at what other children are doing. We need people who pursue greatness and things that are wholesome. Be good at something good and clean. Be brilliant at something that you can be proud of, something that you can tell your grandmother about without feeling any shame. The stories that I shared with you are not unique, fellow citizens. There are many successful people who manage to be mighty conquerors because of the input from an uncle, a neighbor, a teacher, a grandparent, a mother, or a father. Protect your children and make sure that they are not exposed to the rot and the nonsense that is abundant in the world. Let's listen to the story of Richard Williams, a man who grew up in a tough time. Like many, he was a victim of severe racism, but he did not allow that to hold him or his children back.
Right here is where 6 or 7 guys helped me down and actually took a nail that goes in a cross tie and nailed that sucker right into my leg. The reason they would do something like this is simply because I wouldn't call them mister. And I don't think it was fair for me to call no one mister that always called me boy and nigger and always trying to kill me.
That is torture. That is pain. And whenever you want to complain about apartheid that you never even saw, you want to blame apartheid for your life when it barely touched you. Don't be a coward. Face the world head on. Don't embrace a victim mindset. Stand up and find an honest way to make it. Richard was a victim of racism, but he stood up and said there is a way. These are families that understood that competition is the best way to determine who is the best.
What do you feel inside when you're on the court?
I feel good. I feel good.
What didn't I do to try to copy Venus when I was younger? I mean, her favorite color was my favorite color. She wanted to win Wimbledon. I went to Wimbledon.
She is tennis prodigy Venus Williams, and she's also our Sportswoman of the Week.
It was very difficult being in the shadow of Venus because ever since I can remember, Venus was always in the newspapers and always, in the press. I was determined not to become a statistic. And, I was a copycat, basically.
Serena, she didn't have that power when she first started, so she had to try to beat you different ways. She would hit angles, she was trying drop shots, and then once she got her power level up, her serve became as dominant as Venus's.
Game, Miss Williams.
To be the best, you have to compete. Not everyone in the Williams family managed to become a star. The same can be said about the Ball family. But guess what? You can still be something if you are prepared, if you are disciplined, if you are willing to work hard and make the sacrifices. I mean, one of the Ball brothers who didn't make it in the NBA ended up going to play basketball in Europe. And that is a message in itself. While the best of the best children and the most trained children in mathematics and sciences might invent apps and even invent items for the use of mankind, you might simply become a software programmer. But many of those are millionaires too. They might become managers, company executives of different levels. That is a real story in the world. Skills are taken and downloaded into the person before that person starts demanding equal salary or better pay. When you are the best, there is no way for you to be left out. No amount of racism will keep you down. I mentioned the Ball family. I mentioned the Williams family, but they are not the only ones. There are many, many stars that were made through the dedication of the family, the fathers and the mothers. Here is another example.
Just as he's beginning to swing, I dropped my whole bag of clubs. And he would stop and look at me, those teeth gritting. And he'd start again. I'd throw a dozen golf balls in front of his ball.
Eventually it would take more, and then more, and then more, and then more, finally to the point where it didn't bother me anymore.
I said, Tiger, the training is over. I said, you've got it. And I promise you that you'll never meet another person as mentally tough as you in your entire life. And he hasn't, and he never will.
Tiger Woods was already a star when he was 5 years old, but he was not born holding golf balls in a golf club.
This is Eldrick Tiger Woods, and Eldrick is an accomplished golfer. He wins tournaments on a regular basis and has shot close to par on 18-hole courses. Incredibly, Tiger here is only 5 years old.
He is as normal as you and I, as normal as your children and my children. But he was built by his father. He's a product of hard work. The father worked hard to make him what he is. He worked hard too as a child, taking instruction and becoming disciplined in the chosen field.
When he was about 6 months old, I had this putter cut down, and I gave it to him as a toy. And he had dragged this thing around all over the house, and I worked out in the garage. How's that, Tiger? Boo-boo? Sure was, wasn't it? Parents should be supportive.
What we expose our children to matters way more than we know.
I was in the garage hitting balls, and he had been in the garage with me, so I unstrapped him out of his high chair and let him walk free, and he walked over and got his putter and went over and set up just like I did.
Tiger Woods' father was not out every night and every weekend. He was in his garage practicing golf, and he had his son right there with him. Whether you're a carpenter or a plumber, whether you're a doctor or a soccer player, even a failed soccer player, take the one thing you have mastered and share it with your children. Let them start very, very young. I mean, we have seen many start dancing to amapiano very early in life, so surely we could start them on more meaningful and valuable skills, right?
At age 2, I took him out on a course, and he was competing in the age category of 10 and under. And at 3, he won it.
Let them spend their time with you learning to be the best. If you have nothing that you are a master at, then find something that you can learn to do with your children. But do not forget to make sure that they can read and write, please. Yes, they must be good at their chosen art, but be well educated as well. They must work hard and know discipline. Keep them far away from social media and from the street corners.
However, when the family moved to Florida, Richard withdrew his daughters completely from the junior tennis circuit. He wanted to protect his daughters from the intense competition and allow them to concentrate on their studies.
The Woods family home was a short drive from their local course. At this time, golf wasn't allowed to dominate Tiger's life. His African-American father and Thai mother were keen for him to succeed at school, and during term time, golf was restricted to the weekends. As well as having the game well beyond his years, we also found that Tiger had the maturity to match. He knew how important a good education was, and back then, he was planning to do a degree in business studies.
Keep them far away from going to sleepovers and parties that aren't monitored by responsible adults that share your values as a family. You have no excuse, guys. You really have no excuse. You can choose to discard everything I'm saying and doi all you want. Burn the universities and dance on tables all you want. Just like this. But after you do that, what is the end result? What will be the end result here? You can teach the children to sing evil songs, to push evil, racist agendas with Abu Malema, but I promise you that will not yield the success, the discipline, and the satisfaction that people like the Williams, the Ball, and the Woods family got. You have no excuse. Remember that it is up to you. I really hope that you wake up to what your job is as a parent and as a senior to the ones that come after you. Anyway, that's it for today. Please share this video with every citizen you know so that we can raise equipped, skilled, and disciplined South Africans. Please subscribe for more videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned. And until next time, beware of the comrades.